Hi, and welcome to this week's Three Legs Four Wheels F1 podcast. It's Paul here with
Sean,
Chris, and Lee.
We're going to have to run you through some special software tonight just to get you two louder.
Magic.
Don't you love computers?
No.
Yeah, all right, fine, I'll give you that. How are we all doing?
reasonable.
Good.
Yeah. Race week part 2, Saudi Arabia. Still not convinced by the Jeddah circuit.
No, I hate it.
I don't hate it. The speed's exciting, and the fact that it's dangerous is exciting.
I feel like we've not had terrible races there.
Right.
Although, when we talk about it being dangerous,
2 races.
yeah, we had 2 races there. Sorry,
This is
2.
why am I agreeing with you? I know I'm right.
This is the 3rd.
so. This is how memorable this place is.
Yeah, there was the one where they hadn't finished building it,
Not allowed to say that.
and then the one where Mick
Oh, no.
Schumacher decided to break it, and also a terrorist.
Oh yeah.
Definitely finished building it, okay? It was definitely finished before the first race. There was there was nothing to say otherwise on that.
No, that's true.
But yeah, we have seen a couple of fairly sizable crashes there, haven't we? So keep everyone.
Yeah,
on
Mick
their toes.
Schumacher, to somebody else. The first one was fairly eventful, wasn't it? Because it was in the middle of the Verstappen-Hamilton championship battle, and Hamilton had to win the races, and there was the whole slowing down. He brake tested me thing. And then I think the second one was Leclerc and Verstappen going at it at the beginning of last year.
Yes.
But it just, I think we've had some fairly interesting races, but I think the race circuit itself is pretty boring.
Maybe I don't know. It's been interesting. So sometimes you get those circuits, don't you, that they don't necessarily produce the best racing, but at least the races generally tend to be eventful.
Yeah, the 2 that we've had so far in Jeddah have been eventful.
So eventful, I completely forgot that one of them existed.
Because it was, to be fair, they were close together, weren't they? Like the first year
Yeah.
it was our end of the calendar, and then this time last year it was this time last year. So it had been a couple of months between the races.
Yeah, that's true, actually, yes. Yeah, you see, I'd even forgotten that. I think I've just merged it all into into one.
Well, excuse me, this is the thing. I don't know if anybody else is suffering from this a little bit, but the first race was obviously last 2 weeks ago, this coming weekend. But it's just still suffering a little bit from Formula One burnout a little bit. I was just oh right, yeah, the winter break. Looking forward to this. Now Formula One's rolled back around again. I'm like, this is the longest season in history. Come on, man. I love this sport. I love the sport, but I do like an occasional weekend where I'm not watching it.
What were you doing last weekend then? Because you shouldn't have been watching, or this weekend just gone, you shouldn't have been watching
Stop
F1.
watching old races and the weeks in between.
Well, I can't help it. The 90s
You're
just so
not.
good.
Oh, don't forget this year we do get the Formula One spring break.
Well, after Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what?
Break.
Do you know what unnerved me about the calendar that I hadn't appreciated when it was first published, when I was studying it a couple of days ago? Spa is before the summer break.
Is it really?
Spa is in July,
Yeah.
and they come back with Netherlands and then
Yeah.
Monza. It's unsettled me.
Because it's not on the August bank holiday weekend.
No,
as
that's now
normally be.
Zandvoort.
That's just a UK thing, so yeah. Let me just have a look. Excuse me. Don't know what's wrong with me. Keep coughing now and something.
This new software we've got, it only goes so far.
Well, Yeah, so you've got 4 races in 4 weeks.
That's
I don't
quite
think they
intense.
were doing that. Oh, no,
That's
no,
quite
sorry.
intense.
4 in 5 weeks. Sorry, it's not 4 in 4.
Still
I can't
quite a
pronounce.
few races.
So
Yeah.
you've got the Austrian Grand Prix on the 30th of June, then you've got the British Grand Prix on the 7th of July, and then you do get a week off, and then it's the Hungarian Grand Prix on the 21st of July, and then the Belgian Grand Prix on the 28th of July. So July is busy.
And then, of course, of April into May, you've got the two double headers there, Azerbaijan and Miami, followed by Imola and Monaco.
I don't know why they just don't move Azerbaijan back a little bit, or it's too late now, obviously, but they could have done, because, having a month off after Australia.
I think that's the problem because with Australia and Baku, it's back-to-back street circuits, isn't it? And they're going to be working to a deadline and trying to minimise the amount of time that it takes to build them. And, of course, they've got to get, as we well know over here...
So is Miami.
But as we know over here, road closure orders.
Yeah, so you've got Australia, Baku, Miami. So there's another street circuit to set up there.
Actually, so's Jeddah.
Yeah, but there's no reason they couldn't move.
If they, as long
when
you don't
China
tell
was
them
cancelled,
they
could
the
have
calendar.
Azerbaijan.
Yeah, the calendar comes out like summer, doesn't it? It's not like we're just going to sort of suddenly be like, "Hey, we're coming to drive around your city next week. Get ready." They have warning.
I mean,
Yeah.
maybe it was proposed that the calendar did get changed around, but Ferrari?
Yeah, maybe.
My money would probably be on but Azerbaijan because they're quite. I think they have quite strong opinions on stuff, don't they?
So also,
And I think they pay the most.
Yes, they can pay to back up their opinions.
I'm going to throw a curveball in here because you're blaming Ferrari for maybe making decisions, vetoing decisions, which, let's be honest, they have history with. Having watched the last few episodes of Drive to Survive since the last podcast,
Still haven't.
don't bother. There you go.
Oh. Wow.
It's such a mishmash of like just hobbled together footage and stories and ideas. It's like they did the first half and then went, oh shit, we've still got half a season to make.
It did feel that way. It felt like.
Did you feel like that when you watched it, Lee? Like,
Yeah,
you smashed it all on the first day,
empty.
didn't you?
Yeah, maybe 3 or 4 days. It didn't take long anyway. It was over a sort of weekend of maybe a Monday. Half of me thinks that because of like it was dead easy to make drama out of last year. That Netflix have gone, oh, this is great. This is what Formula One is. It's basically the Kardashians with cars that go quicker than the Kardashians' cars, and then they've come to do this year or last year, and it wasn't quite the same, and they've been stuck at how to make it like a sitcom.
Never having seen an episode of The Kardashians, I'm going to have to take everyone's word for that who has seen an episode of The Kardashians.
I've seen half an episode. Kim got laser eye surgery. I don't see that it translated to
That's
F1.
pretty cool. What are the superpowers? It turns out I should be watching this.
I mean, to be fair, who else has had laser eye surgery on TV?
Superman.
No, I mean, he performed laser eye surgery from his eyes.
The only one I can definitely say that's had laser eye surgery is Homer Simpson. I'm not entirely sure that counts.
So you need the eye drops.
Always the after sale. So yes,
Yeah, but I enjoyed Drive to Survive for what it was, I think.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was like it seems to be that the person who complains a lot at the moment, like towards the back end of Drive to Survive, Zach Brown.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he wasn't happy, was he? That
Complains a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot of complaining.
credit where credit's due. I mean, last season and probably this season as well, he's got a lot to complain about.
Yeah, he should probably be doing a bit better with his own team. Don't get me wrong, I love McLaren, but yeah, come on, guys. I really hope that this race is better for them.
It can't be much worse.
Is it Australia they're supposed to have the new car for? Or the
Through
big
McLaren?
upgrades? Yeah.
That sounds
I wouldn't
about
know.
right. Or was it Baku?
I can't remember. I know
It's Baku. I'm looking at something now, and also the new wind tunnel comes on stream on Gust in June.
Right.
Well, that's a bit late in the year, so really be helping with this year's car.
Yeah, so don't look for him at the start of next season.
Yeah.
No. Do look for them at the start of next year. Don't look for them at the end of this season because they've only used all their time.
I think, I mean, we'll have to see if it isn't just like a blip of a season. But Aston Martin kind of made McLaren look stupid this year. You know, with the amount of time they've made up when you've had McLaren desperately trying to break into the top three. for years after falling away, and they'll come close and then drop back down again, and come close and drop back down again. What Aston Martin has done this year has made them look daft.
They've made a lot of teams look daft. They've made the biggest leap forward so far out of anyone. It is only race one, obviously.
Yep.
But yeah.
I mean, well, that's the thing. Even if they settle down into fourth, it's still a massive accomplishment.
It is.
Yeah, they'll got themselves back to where they used to peak in the Jordan and Force India days, and we're going back to 10+ years.
Yeah, we do. They did have that sort of minor hiccup of nearly going out of business, though, didn't they? And
I mean, every incarnation of that team has nearly gone out of business because Jordan almost went bust. Then they got bought out by Midland, who had to sell up within the first season to Spiker, who ran out of money and then sold out to Vijay Mallya.
Yeah,
I'm missing
it was that was a horrible. Those last few years of Jordan were fucking horrible, weren't they?
Yeah. Yeah, as soon as I'm trying to think when it was. About 2000, it started to all go downhill for him, wasn't it?
Yeah, probably about there. Yeah, real shame.
Yeah,
because it was 99. 99 was Frenson's really good year, didn't where he won a couple of races and stayed in the championship hunt until the second to last race.
Yeah, and then following that season, he fell out with the team and they sacked him. And
Lacey came in.
It was weird seeing a Lacey and a Jordan.
It was. Did he come back to Jordan, or was he driving for somebody else? I haven't.
Driving for Prost at the time.
Was he? Right.
Yeah.
That's why he was completely unnoticeable then.
Yeah. Because I think he used to drive for Jordan in the pre-F1 days.
Before both of them made it to Formula One.
Yeah, I think so. I think he was one of Eddie Jordan's discoveries because I think he claimed responsibility for about half of the grid between 93 and 99.
Ah, the 90s helmet, Marco.
Yeah.
It's not a helmet.
Eddie Jordan was a helmet before it was cool.
It's not a helmet, it's a hairpiece.
It's 3 hair pieces.
That is true. That is true. Yeah. Been cut, looks normal, need cutting.
Mm-hmm. And then there are 3 for each season, don't forget. There's autumn, my hair really needs cutting. And then there's obviously, that then gets swapped out for winter, I've just had a haircut.
Say what you want about him, though. He really knows how to play the spoons.
It's true.
Well, you would know.
Yeah.
Yes.
Look on our YouTube channel. The evidence is all there.
It's such a strange instrument for somebody to decide to play.
I think I described it as homeless people music.
I agree.
I think it comes from, and I'm probably going to be pulled up and corrected on this, but in traditional Irish pubs, they have music sessions, just sort of impromptu. People bring along guitars, banjos, mandolins, violins, whatever.
Most people have jobs.
I believe,
and if you can't,
I believe you've got to call them travellers now, Paul.
And if you can't play a stringed instrument and you can't sing, you just grab whatever's to hand and join in. And if there's somebody obviously found a pair of spoons and started playing them like castanets.
I feel like he did sell it in concert as being an Irish tradition.
I mean, fair enough. Maybe I'm shitting all over an Irish tradition here, in which case I'm really sorry. I'm Irish.
But there's a difference between an Irish pub tradition and turning up to a fairly, for the Isle of Man, sizable venue to perform spoons to a crowd of bikers.
Yeah, but you've also got look at for example, the invention of the cajon. Now, this was just a wooden box that people put things in that make noises, kind of like a child's toy.
Yeah.
And there are tables to tap on. What happened to tables?
Well, look, we are taught. I mean, obviously, we're alienating, or at least risking alienating, one of the countries of our demographic. But we are talking about the culture here that saw how everybody else was using drums. I went, nah, there's a much more awkward way to play a drum. Much more awkward way. Sideways with a Roland pin that's been thinned out in the middle.
Hey man, that's a nice looking tambourine. Tambourine? Nah, this is a Baran.
So on this week's edition,
Sorry,
traditional music.
Ireland and Irish people, I'm genuinely very sorry. That was all for comedic effect.
Yes. I mean, it was going to a lot of Irish music sessions that got me playing the mandolin again. And it was stopping going to Irish music sessions that stopped me playing the mandolin again. And I keep meaning to get back into it. Me and Dan were going to form an REM tribute band.
And you need to play the mandolin for Losing My Religion.
Exactly.
And that's it.
Sure, they've got.
I do have a mandolin somewhere.
I have two, but one of them went to the tip. But I've got my electric one.
Yeah, I've got an electric one somewhere. Not sure where it is.
Tell you what, shall we talk about Formula One, because we definitely know what we're doing with there, and we're not likely to insult. I'll stop that sentence now.
Yeah,
we are very likely to insult everyone.
Yeah. So news this week. Early in the season, not a great deal, except for everything that you'd expect, because Ferrari is going into meltdown.
Well, remember last week on the podcast? I think it was, where I said that I think Fred Vasseur is going to be in the job for quite some time, because this is going to be his first season looking at things and being like, okay, this doesn't work. Why don't we do this? And why do you guys do this way? This makes absolutely no sense. He's hit the ground running after one race.
Yeah, they've already lost the head of vehicle concept, David Sanchez, ex-McLaren. He's been there, over 10 years.
That's particularly interesting as well, because I'm sure I saw something on Motorsport at some point recent-ish, where they were saying that the issues they had in Bahrain were nothing to do with the car concept. It was all to do with the setup.
Power unit, isn't it? I thought.
No, they're blaming setup. I.e., they hadn't set the power unit up properly, possibly.
It's a very Ferrari thing. Something's gone wrong. Quick sacrifice.
Is it a sacrifice or is it people jumping ship? I get the feeling this is people actually leaving the boat.
I don't know. Is it? Who did you say somebody else had gone as well, Lee? Because I only saw the one departure.
The rumors are that who's the guy that looks like unbelievably Italian?
I mean, I imagine there's a few people who look quite Italian in Ferrari.
No, he's on telly more than the others. He's a really thin-looking guy.
Oh, I think I know who you mean. I can't. Technical director.
You're talking about Laurent Mekies.
Yes,
I think so. Yeah, he wants to leave apparently.
They say looking good.
I mean, it's Ferrari. It's never looking good. I'd like to say I'm bored of it, but I'm really not.
It's because they keep finding new ways to fuck it up, which keeps it fresh.
He was kind of the next one to take over from Mattia Binotto, but then they got Fred in from outside, and I wonder if there's just a bit of a
culture change.
Not culture change.
You've got my job. I'm not going to work for you.
His nose has been put out of joint.
Yeah, just a personality clash. Yeah. Because Laurent Mekies is French anyway, so he probably welcomes Fred Vasseur coming in and taking over, being like, "Thank you for saving me from all of these Italians who don't know what they're doing." So
now we're offending Italians.
Now I've just insulted the entire country of Italy. I can never go on holiday again.
Skegness is crap this time of year.
Okay, Skegness is crap every time.
Yeah.
Sorry, England.
Yep. Being English, we apologise for Skegness.
Yes.
What must you think though if you're Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz? Here we go again. We're the next in line since like Kimi Räikkönen, which essentially their last championship was luck. But since then it's just been a case of letdown after letdown after letdown for Ferrari.
Was it luck, or was it that Ferrari's last championship was that once in a lifetime occasion where there was a team that was more dysfunctional than them?
Yeah.
I think
There
I
was a
think it's
lot of
another-
dysfunction.
Yeah, or you could even look at it the fact that they Ferrari'd it so badly they won.
Well, it was back in the days, wasn't it, where you scored 10 points for a race win, 8 for second,
Yeah,
6 for third. And going into the final 2 races of the season, Kimi Raikkonen was 17 points behind with 20 on the table, a maximum of 20 on the table. And he won the title.
yeah.
Now, that is a position you'd expect if it was reversed and it was Ferrari in the lead with somebody else behind. You'd expect that to happen and Ferrari to blow it. McLaren managed to Ferrari it.
Well, I mean, look at the following year when Felipe Massa very nearly won the title. I mean, that was when, McLaren did have their shit together a little bit more and had one driver that they were concentrating on to be world champion. And for a few seconds, it looked like he was, it looked like Ferrari had done it. It looked like they'd beaten McLaren. But since that moment, 2009 was a car crash for Ferrari. 2010, Fernando Alonso.
Sorry, I'm just laughing because I've just remembered 2009 is when Massa had his crash.
Yes.
Not one specific crash.
No. Just the whole year. And then, well, they weren't even on it then, were they? Because Braun turned up in 2009. And then 2010 through to 2013 was the Alonso era. The car wasn't great, but Alonso still nearly won world championships.
Yeah. I think he'd have won the year he left Ferrari, and they actually had like a semi decent car that Seb fought with. I think he'd have won that championship if he'd been in it.
Yeah, but that
Maybe.
But again, that's the Alonso dysfunction.
Yeah.
Or
yeah,
no,
yeah.
or is it Ferrari? That's the thing, because
Leaving the team gets good.
yeah, and then in 2014, do you remember when they started the turbo hybrid era? The Ferrari power unit was wildly different to anyone else's. It made a really weird startup and shutdown sound, like a jet engine.
Yeah.
And they eventually, I think, they changed it for the following year, for 2015, which is when Vettel joined, was it? And then they won a couple of races with Vettel. Vettel's the new Alonso. He's going to win the world championship. No, that didn't happen. More capitulations whilst Vettel was fighting for world championships with Hamilton, and then they've just not. Last year was the best chance I think they'd had since they won their last championship.
And they still managed to screw it up.
Yeah, there were how many times was Charles Leclerc or Carlos Sainz leading a race and something went wrong?
Oh, at least 4 or 5.
Mhm.
The good news from this week is that apparently one of the energy stores that they've already burned through, or it was one of the electronic components, it may be the energy store.
The electronic component is the control box,
There's
control unit.
They lost the control electronics in an energy store on Leclerc's car,
Okay.
and it looks like one of those two isn't terminal, and it can be repaired.
Oh, so it's just a bit dodgy.
Yeah,
That's not what you want, though, is it?
yeah, but it holds off penalties, I'm guessing, because he's already onto his second of both allowed components.
You still have the penalty, though, of knowing that for half the season you're going to have a half-working component in your car.
Yeah. The way things go for Ferrari, that kind of is good news, though, because at least they can be confident that it might work. And is that that's the best they can hope for most of the time.
I don't think Ferrari, like I said, I think this year is. They've got somebody sensible at the helm, haven't they, with Fred Vasseur? So if he's looking at things and being like, why do you do it this way? And Ferrari turn around, but we've always done it this way. Fred's going, yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah, it's an issue that
Yeah. So
not positive.
exactly. So if this is what Fred Vasseur is doing to Ferrari, then I mean, may as well give Red Bull the championships now after the first race. But yeah, it might not be. It might be a couple of years until Ferrari are back on that trajectory again. But hopefully, by the time they get to the point when they've got another chance to have a crack at a championship, the procedures and all the policies and everything that you put in place to make sure things run smoothly as a sporting team will have been wildly different to how they have been in the past. And Ferrari can actually challenge properly for race wins or maybe a world championship.
Yeah, I mean, I think Fred Vasseur's main job is just to go in and glue the heads back on the chickens.
Mm-hmm.
And until he gets complete control over what's happening there, Ferrari is still
terrifying job.
What, chicken head gluer or Ferrari team principal?
Chicken head gluers.
A bit of both, I would have said.
Go and glue those heads back on those chickens.
What? Sorry, boss?
Yeah, but Ferrari before have been gluing the heads back on the chickens with Pritt stick, and Fred's brought his own tube of super glue, so it might work this time.
Well, maybe.
Super glue that is made up of crushed up prancing horses.
I can't remember what podcast it was I was listening to, but one of the people on it pointed out the fact that Vasseur's already left a Formula One team because it wasn't operating properly, like when he was at Renault, and they saw no reason why he couldn't do this again.
Yeah, he wasn't in charge at Renault, though, was he? He was second or third in command at Renault.
Yeah. But the thing being, like he could see things weren't running, and it wasn't going to match what his aspirations were. I left the team. I'm sure if Ferrari keep doing that, he's probably the type of person that would just go and find himself a new team to work for,
a new challenge. Well, I think the thing with Renault, after watching the very fucking weird and surreal Carlos Ghosn documentary on Netflix this week, was Renault was an absolute mess back then. Not just the F1 team, but every part of Renault.
Mm.
If you've not seen it on Netflix yet, have a look for it. The interesting bits of the story come at the end. The being smuggled out of the house it wasn't actually a cello case; it was a flight case.
That makes it better.
Carlos Ghosn.
Yeah.
He
was a unique individual that was running Renault and Nissan at the same time, in very unusual ways. And I think that was what was filtering down to to all the sporting division of Renault, to be honest. Because there was a lot of problems with the whole Renault organisation from rally cars upwards. But yeah, it's worth a look just to see the CCTV footage of him being smuggled out of his own house and then turning up in Lebanon.
Yeah, because Infinity was a Renault Nissan project, was it not?
It was, yes. And they used to have Renault used to run the Formula E team that Nissan had taken over the management of. And there's a lot of mutual directors and mutual major shareholders, and they were effectively sort of two arms of the same megacorp.
Smash.
Cheers.
It was just a light clink. It's fine.
But yeah, have a look for that documentary, because it's well worth a watch. You got to sit through a lot of animations.
Animations?
Yeah. Like I say, it's very, 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 very strange.
Okay.
You don't expect a business story to have that much animation in, unless it's. I was going to say, air crash investigation, or Mayday, as it is in some countries, or God knows what. It's got a different name every country, and the pilots always wear bad wigs. Anyway, I'm sidetracking myself now. Where else are we? The ongoing saga of Andretti trying to get into Formula One, which, unlike that review that we got on Apple Podcasts this week, we got accused of having an anti-American bias.
I feel like we've spoken in a very pro-Andretti fashion.
Well, Andretti, I thought we said we wanted Andretti.
Yeah, we would like them.
How long has that Phil been listened to? It wasn't so long ago. I used to jokingly refer to myself as a proud, God-fearing American. It's not even a bit. That was fucking real.
I mean, we're anti. Let's be honest. If we're gonna like play devil's advocate here for a second, anti-Scott Speed. I
Yes.
think that's fair.
That's not because he's American, it's because he's shit.
I'm incredibly pro Scott Speed because of his name.
It's but his name is false advertising.
Yes, I'm with Sean on this one.
It's like the McDonald's Big Tasty. That is only half correct.
Yeah, I can't dispute that he's called Scott.
He's not even Scottish.
Listen, hang on. Whoa, the big tasty. Let's deal with this fake news one thing at a time. Like,
The big tasty is tasty, okay?
Yeah.
It's not big.
yeah, but it doesn't taste nice, but it definitely tastes of something.
It's got taste.
Yeah.
I'm just going to turn streamer mode back on Discord because I'd forgotten.
Is that what's chiming away in the
That was what was bleeping.
I have never partaken in the Big Tasty, so I cannot possibly comment.
Anyway, Formula One. America.
You know what liquid smoke smells like?
Yeah.
That it tastes like liquid
Oh,
smoke
okay.
smells.
I mean, I've got liquid smoke that I put in cocktails, but I've also got a smoker, so I can smoke cocktails in that, and it comes out a lot better.
Yeah. I think we've digressed.
We have completely.
So anyway, America.
Yeah.
America.
We're fine with America.
Yeah.
Coming again to save motherfucking Formula One. Because let's be honest, that's what happened. Americans bought Formula One and saved it.
Yeah.
So I'm not trying to say whoever made that review was wrong,
I am.
but they weren't correct. Let's just say that.
I'm almost convinced if it wasn't like the last episode we did, the episode before when we were talking, I even turned around and said about how happy I was there was three Grand Prix in America.
Yep, we like there. I don't know if 3 might be too much. We'll have to see when we get to Vegas. But when we get to Vegas, when the sport gets to Vegas, we're not going.
Anyone who wants to fund our trip to Vegas,
Yeah. But the patron page would have to drastically change for that to be something that happened.
I might not be allowed to travel
patreon.com/3legs4wheels.
after tonight.
Just in case you want to help us get to Vegas.
And
Yeah.
what was I going to say then? Yeah, did I not say last week as well that Logan Sargent seems like he's the real deal?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're very complimentary of Logan Sargent there.
Yeah, I mean, well, of course, Alex. We know that Alex Albon is one of the most talented young drivers on the grid. Okay, fine. He struggled a little bit at Red Bull, but then so did everyone. And yeah, he kept pace with Alex Albon. He was only a few seconds behind his teammate on his debut. Come on. Logan Sargent, he did a good job. Anti-American rhetoric. We might joke about the Americans sometimes, but I just joked about the Irish and the Italians.
We joke because we love.
I just think it's nice that one of the Drive to Survive fans can operate a computer.
But obviously can't operate a pair of headphones. So yeah, what I was going to say was the Andretti F1 project is gaining pace. They've signed Nick Chester from McLaren's Formula E team to be their technical director.
It's a solid signing, that.
Yeah.
For a team that we don't know is definitely a go yet.
Yeah, I mean, Nick Chester was James Allison's replacement in Enstone.
Okay, so James Allison left Enstone to go to Ferrari?
Yeah.
In what, 2011?
2013.
And then went from Ferrari to Mercedes?
Yes.
In what can be remembered as like in a catalogue of some fairly spectacular fuck-ups, how Ferrari treated James Allison is right up the top of that.
It's classic Ferrari.
That list.
Oh, God, yeah. I mean, if Gary Lineker was into Formula One, by God, he'd have been tweeting about that. But
But instead we get Nick Knowles.
oh, God. Right, can he tweet something contentious so the BBC suspend him, please?
Is he
Nick
still on the
Knowles is
BBC?
62.
Is he?
Well, he said he was the other day. Oh, I accidentally caught some of him on television.
I hope you wash your hands after.
You know when you go into the kitchen and something's on television, you go into the kitchen and you come out and you go, "What the fuck is this?" Well, I was embarrassingly watching the local news, and then I went into the kitchen, did some sort of the kitchen, washed some stuff, came back in, and the One Show had started, and he was on the One Show. I was like, "Oh no!" So yeah,
This is going on my list of more reasons never to watch the One Show.
I was just going to say the best thing about the One Show is the fact that it isn't actually just the One Show. Otherwise, we've got real problems.
60, not 62. I misheard him.
But anyway, a different Nick Chester. He was with the Mercedes Formula E squad, stayed when they swapped over to McLaren at the start of this Formula E season, and
Decided he doesn't like orange.
And yeah, he's going to be moving to Andretti as technical director. So whatever obstacles Formula One, the FIA, and the real anti-Americans are thrown in Andretti's way.
I am a real anti-American. Withhold the rights of every man.
Parody, fair use, don't have to pay royalties. Yeah, it looks like Andretti's still saying, "Fuck you, we're going ahead with this as much as we can. I'm really enjoying this."
Yeah, Andretti should be in Formula One. We've said this before.
Yeah.
There's no reason for Andretti not to be. The disagree with the teams saying that, oh, you know, or what they're going to bring to the show. Why don't you let them in and find out? You let HRT in.
Yeah, I mean, they brought in so much technology-wise. I mean, okay, they gave Danny Rick his first drive.
I think Toro Rosso paid them a sum of money to give Danny Rick his first drive. I don't think they found him.
There is every chance. You know, a team that bad that they weren't entirely sure that they'd be able to run the cars in the first two races.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not great, is it?
I mean, maybe that's why the rest of the teams don't want another embarrassment like that or MasterCard Lola in there.
They've got General Motors on board with them. It's not like they're just turning up like, "Hey guys, I've got a credit card and I want to be a Formula One team."
Again, that was MasterCard Lola. They had a credit card and wanted to be a Formula One team.
They were a credit card company, and look what happened there.
And to be fair, as Aston Martin has shown, having enough money is clearly massively beneficial to a team.
Yeah, do you want to be a Formula One team? Oh, yes, please. Well, you can't. For everything else, there's MasterCard.
I mean, with 10 teams on the grid, I think the way that the Concord Agreement used to be written was the prize money and the travel money only went down to 10th. So with it being a 10-team closed shop, everybody gets something. And
It's just greed, isn't it?
yeah. So with 11 teams on the grid, if that regulation is still the same, then, well,
Someone's going to miss out.
someone's gonna lose out, and oh my God, we're making it into a proper race and a proper competition, and we're not just no participation awards. Don't worry, we'll still give ours out. So I think that's the problem, that the sort of whole closed shop thing don't want to run the risk of finishing last.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. I think the other thing as well is I would be surprised if Andretti were to come into Formula One and prop up the back of the grid. Yeah, I'd be surprised if they came into Formula One and fought for wins and championships, but I'd expect them to at least be around Alpine.
Yeah, they'd come in middling, wouldn't they?
Yeah, and that means that half the grid gets shuffled down a team. So yeah, it's that means a team that would be fighting for points is now not fighting for points with Williams. Well, so not even Williams.
No, Williams are doing.
Yeah. Sorry, force of habit.
Yeah, but the team that made. Let's be honest here. If you're going to say the team at the back, who they're probably going to be
McLaren.
Yes, that's where I was going with that. Yeah. Well, we'll tell you what, we'll stop and fill our car up with air 6 times just to let the new boys maybe not be last.
Oh, let's not go there. Now, apparently McLaren are saying they're hopeful for the rest of the year, as I said earlier, but...
Yeah, hope doesn't win races.
That's like breaking all of your bones in January and going, well, can't get worse, onwards and upwards.
You've seen the state of the pavements around here? That's an occupational hazard of living on the Isle of Man. Somebody sent us a comment last week saying, where's the Manx news? That's all I listen to this show for. So there it is. Isle of Man, we've got cracked pavements.
No, we can do better than this.
What?
Right, everybody else carry on. I'll find some Manx news.
Actually, we do have some Manx news. Friend of the podcast.
Oh, yes. Friend of the podcast, Cameron Hawes, is now racing under the Manx flag.
Oh, nice.
He's driven... He's our own pet.
Safer if you race under a helmet.
It's a fair point.
One of these days, I am going to bring the stream deck down here and I am going to insert bloody rim shots into this show. He's raced under the Irish and French flags before, so we've got our own little Rosbergian. But no, he's a really good guy.
Yeah, we interviewed him on the podcast. Was it early last year?
It was last year. Last year is a bit of a blur for me. But yeah, we interviewed him last year. Stayed in touch. His website is hosted on the same server as Three Legs Four Wheels because I've donated the web space to him, and he's doing
Web buddies.
He's doing a 24-hour race at Silverstone in real life in a real car later on this year. And just look out for a Three Legs Four Wheels logo somewhere around the car and on his race suits.
Nice. Well, that would be cool. And if anybody else, if there's anyone out there, business owners or something like that, because he'd still be looking for sponsors.
He's still looking for sponsorship, yeah.
Yeah. So if you're a business owner or if you've got an interest in getting into some kind of motorsport and want to test the waters first, get in touch with us and we'll put you in touch with Cameron because he's a good young lad, and everything that he's tried his hand at, he's done pretty well at so far.
He wasn't bad in the ERA Championship where he won his first race.
Yeah, and that was the second because he's done the French GT Championship, hasn't he? Which he won. Mm-hmm. He's done the ERA and he won. So yeah. And look at the 24-hour race at Silverstone,
and he's a bit nippy on sim racing as well.
What car is he in for the endurance race at Silverstone?
I will have to find that out because would you believe I don't think he's actually told me that. Let me just go back through my messages.
But this is also potentially good news for us because it means when new people find us, they won't need to ask us what the three legs are about.
That is very true, and I still don't actually know. Still don't know what the car is. I did comment on his post saying he was racing under a Manx flag that it was the right number of legs and the right number of wheels.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So there we go. That is tonight's Manx news roundup.
Yeah, I was going to go with something boring, but that's
go on. What were you going to go with? I'm intrigued.
I was going to go with the number one news story, which is currently on the media site for where you work, Sean. Police highlight a worrying trend involving young people.
Young people, they exist.
What is it? Jeans and rock and roll?
No. The fight videos are being posted on social media.
Oh, is happy slapping back?
Well, I think it's happy slapping, but for a new generation. Because I think everybody who's doing happy slapping has probably now got married with children, so the happy slapping's frowned upon. When you're in your late 20s. So
only in the Isle of Man would people that are reasonably comfortable in general. Like I know not everybody is, but in general, only in the Isle of Man would those people get so bored that kids start organising their own fight club.
Also, right, okay, so the top story is the police highlight the worrying trend. The second story is to expect sleet and snow over hills tomorrow.
Oh,
and the third story
could make organising said fights difficult.
or really easy. And the third story is racer Cameron Horse a race under Manx flag in 2023. So there you go.
They're obviously missing you in the office this week.
I think we've had that interview in-house for a little while, actually.
Right, on to a bit of a preview. As we've already alluded to, we have the third, happy now, Saudi Arabian Grand Prix this weekend. Coming into it on the back of Bahrain, where Red Bull buggered off.
Yes, I'm probably going to do the same again.
I was going to say, do we see this happening again?
Yeah, because Ferrari don't have the pace to catch them. It's a very fast circuit, like Lee said earlier, but I just don't think it's very interesting. It's a very fast circuit. I can't really see anybody catching Red Bull. If it's not a 1-2, something goes severely wrong for them based on the form of a single race that we've seen so far this year.
I mean, of course, the circuit looks like a giant wonky spoon.
Excellent.
Have a look, it does.
No, I do. I like shapes of circuits.
And I think, is it still the fastest corner on the calendar on here?
Is it the fastest corner, or is it one of the? It's one of the fastest circuits, isn't it? In terms of that average speed.
I don't know if I'd say spoon or I'd say scalpel.
Yeah, either way.
Spoon is a Suzuka, so.
Yeah, so it's all right. Wonky scalpel. Definitely wouldn't want to be cut with that. Yeah, I mean, Max won last year, although it wasn't a sure thing. But I don't think the gap between Ferrari and Red Bull is anywhere close this year.
Yeah, no chance to send that picture through the circuit. It looks like somebody's made a scalpel out of a paperclip.
I still think wonky spoon. Tell you what, let us know on Twitter. #spoon, #scalpel.
Oh no, I see what you mean. It looks like a spoon from like a side view.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
You get some that look different from different angles.
Yeah, so tilt your head 45 degrees, it looks like a wonky spoon.
It's easier to tilt your phone.
I'm looking at it on the laptop. I'm not tilting that.
Okay, fair enough.
So we have a strong Red Bull, a unpredictable Ferrari, and the unknown quantity of Aston Martin. It's one of them where, I mean, it's too early to make predictions based on form. However,
what else have we got?
Yeah. Yeah, however, going for that on form, should we do some predictions?
Yes, okay.
Right, who's going first?
I'll go first because it's easy. Verstappen, Perez, Alonso.
That was okay.
That was straight to the point.
I am just putting those in. Just putting those on the website now. Because now we use the web.
Isn't it generating fantastic content?
Yeah, rather than a bit of paper. Okay, who is going next?
He's right. Like it's Verstappen, Perez, Alonso.
God, I agree with Lee on something. Someone help me.
I am struggling to convince myself to say something else just for variety. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go Verstappen, Sainz.
I thought you were just going to say it in a different accent.
I'm doing it, but I'm doing it cunningly in a female voice, so it sounds different.
Verstappen.
Verstappen.
Alonso.
Verstappen, Sainz, and because it's a fast street circuit, I'm going to go out there. I'm going to go Stroll. With the
we forgot Aston Martin's got 2 drivers.
yeah, and he's got like half a working wrist by now as well.
One and a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Street circuit if it was 90 degrees and lots of straights.
Oh, sorry. Just I completely forgot this. I don't think we mentioned it on the last episode. If we did, I'm sorry. But I noticed the other day how hilarious it was that Alonso turned around and said how much of a good job Lance Stroll did driving with a broken wrist. And then as soon as he finished that, he said, of course, I drove most of last season with broken bones.
Right, I'm going to go Verstappen.
I'm shocked.
Alonso and Sainz.
Wow.
A Red Bull DNF.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm predicting for Perez. I'm just not predicting him on the podium.
Now the Red Bull get it totally wrong. Ferrari get it right. And we'll start here next week. Like, well,
No one predicted that.
no.
Well, we were accurate as always. Right, if you want to do your own prediction, you get to predict the top 5, pole position, fastest lap, number of DNFs. Will there be a safety car? Probably. Not a virtual safety car, a full-blown safety car. Just go to 3legsportwheels.com and head to the prediction league, and you can put your predictions in there. Also, there's a link to our official F1 Fantasy League that we're running. I think we've got about 90 odd in there now. So see how you stack up on Fantasy F1 management against everybody else. I probably should change my team for the next race, because I always do for the first 3 races and then just forget about it and usually come about 200th, even if there's only 100 in there. If you want to get in touch with us, then there's email, 3legsportwheels@gmail.com, at 3legsportwheels on the socials, patreon.com/3legsportwheels if you want to contribute to the Send the 4 of us to Vegas fund, or buy us some new software at least. And individually,
We are not anti-American. We would love to go to Vegas.
and we'll even break the rules, because we will go, if we go to Vegas for the Grand Prix, we will talk about it afterwards, and what happens in Vegas won't stay in Vegas. We'll share it.
Unless we put the podcast out in Vegas, then technically it stays there.
Not really, because our server's in Manchester, so that's where it's going to be going.
Technicality.
Have we done the individually on Twitter bit? No, I haven't.
No.
I've lost track.
So, individually on Twitter, we are
At Sean Cowper.
At Flood21.
That must see audio.
and at Pablo100. Sorry, it's been a bit light on F1 tonight, but aside from a race preview and Ferrari screwing up, there's not been a great deal to talk about, has there?
No, there'll be a load next week.
Did we mention Hamilton bitching at his
Oh, we
his team?
didn't.
No, he sort of let that slip on the BBC podcast, didn't he? But the bosses didn't listen to him when he wanted changes making towards the end of last year.
Oh, I'm sure he was saying that last week as well.
Yeah, do you know what? I kind of get like the sort of thing he's talking about, but it's so much more deeper, isn't it, than just a driver saying, "I need more downforce," or I need more front end. It seemed to me a unnecessary column inches were created by Lewis saying that.
Yeah, and remember the Alonso dossier? Where was it? Was it when he went back to Alpine, when they were Alpine? He had that thick fucking file of like everything that was wrong with the car and what needed fixing. Like after testing, he handed it over. Like, there you go. That's what you need. That's what we need. There's my file. Read it. Fix it. Experienced drivers are able to give experienced feedback. It just seems very strange that a 7-time world champion would just go on a podcast and be like, "Yeah, they didn't listen to me."
Yeah, it was a bit weird. I do you know the one I remember most about a driver that was publicly chastising the team, saying that like they didn't listen to me and I was right, was Grosjean. They had an entire year of Grosjean saying these updates don't work.
Was it the brakes? Was it specifically the brakes he had a grievance with?
I can't remember. I just remember him saying the old
Look
car.
what happened to Grosjean.
Yeah, they finally gave him a slightly quicker car and he burst into flames.
He stuck it in a wall first.
Yeah,
Not going quickly.
He stuck it through the barrier.
Well, no, I'm talking about the Baku wall.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just going to say, but Grosjean being Grosjean, I feel like that car was going to burst into flames anyway. It just happened at the same time he drove into like a fence.
See, they had
But yeah,
what was left of it on display at the circuit.
wow.
No, it's on display in Spain, isn't it? At a Formula One museum.
No, they had it at the circuit, and then it's going to the Formula One museum.
Oh, okay.
Would you
Interesting.
want that as a reminder? Like,
I think it's fine if the
before you
person
get in the
survives.
car.
I mean, you wouldn't want like Senna's Williams on display, would you?
No.
That's morbid.
Yeah. But I mean, saying that though, morbid things can be parts of history. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I
You know,
guess
if you go into a museum, you will find plenty of grim stuff if you wander around
Yeah.
looking at
Mhm.
things.
very true.
Hitler's eagle's nest is a cafe, so
Not going to use that for the title this week.
I think it's just intention with things like that, isn't it? If you're going to look at something and your sole purpose to go and look at it is like this is cool and this is a piece of history, or it's like, oh my god, somebody died in that.
Oh, I mean, dark tourism is definitely a thing.
yeah, you can call catacombs, wherever they're
Yeah.
Paris or there's under Paul, you'll know about them under York Minster.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, I think
the Undercroft is full of
Yeah,
formerly alive people.
yes, I've seen them, lots of them,
Mm.
many skulls,
Walls.
things made out of them.
Yeah, I mean, somebody I know, and I'm not going to mention any names, Alex, is into dark tourism and morbid history a bit, and he actually bought mail order a bit of the fireplace from the Sharon Tate killing's house.
That's weird.
Kind of thing, yeah, weird.
Oh, like, he should be on a list for like delivery people.
Your old Three Legs Fourth Down colleague Dewan is also into a bit of dark tourism, isn't he? Because he went to North Korea on a holiday, and also did he go to Chernobyl as well?
He's got a fucking season pass for Chernobyl. He's been at least twice.
Yeah,
What do you
So
think?
rad.
What do you think makes his beard grow so quick?
oh, I don't know, but
That deserved more.
Go on, sorry.
I said it was rad.
Yeah.
That deserved more.
Oh,
Right, we've taken a path down a very, very dark road. I think it's probably about time to call this a day before we call it a nightmare.
I agree.
so I'm now banned from Austria, Germany, and the border between Belarus and Ukraine. Yeah,
and
Yeah.
North Korea.
And North Korea.
I know that's fine. I'm banned from Austria
Portsmouth
anyway.
for you
Oh,
this year.
and there's a good chance of Ramsey as well.
Portsmouth. Wow, I need to be careful. My family's from there, so alrighty.
You're a Portsmouth fan, so you're automatically barred from Southampton.
Yes.
This flood area of travel availability is narrowing.
Thanks to my own words.
We will see you next week with some more words. If you want your country insulting, get in touch.
Could it be a separate patron team?
Stay classy, planet Earth.
We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.